today we're going to work on the Access project for Chapter 1. The instructions tell us to start Access and download the Access file named Exploring A1. And we do that by going through our course in Blackboard, clicking My IT Lab, and then going into My IT Lab Access Chapter 1. Let's get there. All right, we're in our course and we have Access Chapter 1, which we're going to click on. And then the top is Student Resources. You've got your e-textbook there by chapter. You have PowerPoints about the textbook and videos to help you. Where we want to go right now is our Access Chapter 1 assignments. Each week you'll have a reading quiz, and that's over the reading. It's multiple choice. You have a simulation activity, which is in a pretend Access environment, and then our grader activities. That's where we're going now. We're going to go to our grader activity, and we're going to download this and get it started. So I'm going to click Start. You have 3 attempts. I'm going to download materials, and you'll see where we have to then follow the instructions and complete the assignment. I suggest going ahead and logging out of My IT Lab at this time. Complete your assignment, then log back in. You'll browse your computer and uploaded the closed completed assignment. Then you'll say Attach, and finally you'll click Submit for grading. So you can download both files as zip files, or you can download them one at a time. The instructions, and then I'll show you what downloading the Access database looks like. I save it into my folder for my class, and look how it calls it Student Exploring. I'm going to go ahead and save now, and I already have the instructions opened up for us, so we're good to go there. And here is our Access file. You'll see that it's named Student Exploring. I'm going to go ahead and suggest that you rename it and keep this raw file. If you make a mistake, start over with this. Anytime you have access, you have to enable content. Basically, you have to tell your computer that you trust the content. So we're going to go ahead and enable content and say that we trust it. And then we're going to go ahead and go File, Save As. And this time, I'm going to save as back into the same place on my computer. Like I told you, I have a folder on my C drive that's for South Plains and that's for our class. Okay, I even have it labeled all the way to Chapter 1. What I'm going to ask you to do is to write up here at Student, go ahead and change that to your last name, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put both names because I've been working on the file before, but I want you to know that it looks like my last name, Exploring A01 Grader, and I say Save, and I have to enable content again, and I'm ready to go. Our second instructions say open the speakers table in Datasheet view. So I wanted you really quick to look over here on the left side and see that we have all our access objects. We have tables and several of them. We have queries that ask a question across those tables. We have forms that fill information in from the tables. And we have reports that are a great way to print out and communicate with people about your data. We're being asked for a speaker table, so we know right away we need to open the Tables tab in All Access Objects. And it's asking us to go to Speakers, which is the last one. And I'm going to double-click Speakers. When I double-click it, it opens it here with a tab. This is what we call Datasheet View, but become familiar with the views in Access. Clicking View Design View looks different and talks about how the information is entered in our table. Coming back here and again clicking View and going back to Datasheet looks a little bit more like Excel. And just like Excel, we can click between those columns and make them easy to read. On the Datasheet view, use the search to locate the speaker P014. And by the way, that 0 is the number 0, not the letter O. I apologize for saying that. Our search menu is down here at the bottom, and we're going to type capital P, number 014. And as we do that, you'll notice that our highlighter comes down and highlights Mary Miller, our speaker ID that is P014. And that's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to search to find that speaker ID, change the first name from Mary to marijuana. So I'm going to click right in Mary. I just clicked once. Then I'm going to highlight Mary and just type marijuana. All right. And now it says change the last name from Miller to Hynek. So I'm going to click Tab, and you'll see how it highlights that part of the name. And I'm going to go capital I-H-I-N-E-K. And look, you'll see a pencil right here. The pencil means that we made changes or are working in this record or this row of material, but it hasn't been saved. Once I hit enter or click another cell, that information will be saved. And now it's in our table, okay? So I just wanted you to see that and see that that pencil is now gone, and marijuana is, Hynek is all entered, information is entered. Our next question was to sort the table in ascending order by speaker ID. So we can come over here to our speaker ID, which is basically probably our primary key that accesses set. And ascending order means A to Z. So we click the pull down arrow and we go A to Z, sort smallest to largest. And when we do that, it renumbers with number 1 first and number 16 last. And now it says close and save the table. So we will right click the tab and click save. There's always lots of different ways to save. You can also close the table by hitting this red X, or you can keep with your right click and hit close and be done. Now we're in step 3. Open the speaker session query. Query is a different object in all objects, so we want to open our queries and look at that. And it says find the speaker session query. So to do that, I'm going to double click and open my query. So we have speaker session query with a tab right up here at the top. And it says apply a filter to identify the sessions with Cynthia Ashley or Holly Davis as the speakers. And it's going ahead and giving us a hint to use a filter by form or the tab. So when I sort, I normally, and I'm sorting for a name, I click in that person's name, and the names we want are Cynthia Ashley and Holly Davis. Let's click in Cynthia. We're going to come up here to advance, and we're going to filter by form. And we're going to do an advanced filter by form and sort. And what we want to do is filter by speaker ID, right? But speaker ID last and first name. So I'm going to grab the last name as a field and the first name as a field. And then I want to sort first by the criteria, Ashley, A-H-S-L-E-Y, and that was Cynthia. And I also want to sort by Holly Davis, so I'll type Davis. And when you type the name and then just click tab, it will put the quotes around for you. And then we're going to do Holly. You do need to make sure you type it correctly and press tab, and now we have our sort. Now it's asking us to sort our filtered results in ascending order by session ID. We have not added session ID, so we're going to come up here and grab the session ID field, drag it down below and let go, and then we're going to click in our sort row, and we're going to sort ascending by session ID, and now we save and close the query. So we're going to right click and save. It's going to ask us to name the query, and I'm going to name it speaker session. Goodness, it's Davis and Ashley. And I'm going to go OK. And then it asks us to close the query. So now you can right click and close. Now we're on step 5. and it says open the session form. Now remember, we have all sorts of objects, tables, queries, forms, and reports. We want to open forms and add a new session. So let's look for our session form, and that's right here in the middle. We're going to double click it, and that'll open it up on our computer. And it says add a new form. One thing you could do is you could add a new session, but one way I like to do is go ahead and click over in views and click in data sheet view, and when you do that, you see how the sessions are laid out up here. So we want to click in new, and Access is going to label the new ID number for you. So just hit tab, and the new title is University Collaboration. So we just click and start typing, and then hit tab, and the new date is 11/28/2017. So I'm going to put 11, and look how it's already in date format for us. I'm not typing those slices, it's typing that. And I'm going to go tab, and the starting time is actually 2. If you put a 0 before the 2, it will better understand it. And then put 0 and then capital P and M, and then hit tab, and the room ID is 104. And then once you hit tab, you have entered your new record of university collaborations, and you are supposed to save and close the form. So you right click on the tab and hit save, right click and hit close, and you are. Step 6, open the session speaker table. So what we want to do is come over to all access objects and open our tables and find session speaker. Double click it so it opens, and it says enter a new blank record using speaker ID of 010 and a session ID of 09. So we need to scroll down to the bottom. So here's where our new record would be, and we're going to type 010 and then hit tab. Notice how it already puts a speaker ID of P in front of that 010. And then for session ID, we want to put 09 and hit tab. Sort the table by speaker ID in descending order. Now, descending means biggest to smallest. So we'll go descending Z to A. We'll click the arrow next to the speaker ID. We'll sort largest to smallest, and we'll save the changes. So we'll right click on the tab for save and right click for close. Step 7. Open the master list sessions and speakers report in layout view. So first we want to make sure we're over in all access objects opening our reports. And then it wants us to open the master list session and speaker report in layout view. Now I'm going to double click it just to open it. And then to go ahead and find the correct view, I'm going to right click and click layout. And there we are in layout view, and you know it's layout view because you can do the separate components of the report. Switch to, okay, we saw layout view, so we did that. Switch to print preview and change the margins to wide. Okay, to print, here's our views, by the way. To print preview, we go to file and then print. And once you do that, you could quickly print it. You could print the whole thing, or you could print preview, which is just a view of your assignment. So it's asking us, though, to make your margins wide. So we're going to come over here to margins in the print preview window, and we're going to come to the second choice, which is wide margins. And then it says close print preview. Okay, so we're going to come up here to close and click close. Step 8 asks us to switch to report view. So we're going to come over here to view. We are on the design menu, and we are going to go to report view, And now that we're in report view, apply a filter that limits the report to sessions for room 101. If you go ahead and click room 101 right here, then you can come up to the sort and filter panel and click selection. And since we already clicked 101, it's saying, do you want it to equal 101? Yes, we do. We want it to equal room 101. So we click that, and now you can see that our report prints room 101. And then it says save the filter and close the report. So we're going to right click and save this filter, and then we're going to right click and close the report. Step 9 is to close all database objects, which we've done. Our panel here, our stage is closed. It says close the database, exit access, and submit the database. Now remember, the name of our database is last name, first name, which is Lewis Daphne Exploring A01. I want to make sure that when I close this, that I upload that file for grading. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. In the meantime of closing, I logged back into our course. In our My IT Lab course, I clicked Access Chapter 1. I clicked Assignments, and I'm going back to that grader assignment that we read. And I click here to submit. We have up to 3 submissions. And it'll open the panel and say, do you want to start again? Well, I'm starting to submit my assignment. We already downloaded our materials. We've already done our work steps. And now we choose our file. And remember, we said that ours was named Lewis Daphne. Yours should be your last name and maybe your first name too. Once you've selected the file, you do need to click upload. It'll show you how fast it's uploaded and then say it's successful. Then you have to submit for grading. And it says your file has been submitted for grading. Then you click close assignment. You close this and you go back to where you were in My IT Lab, and it tells you that you submitted your assignment and you made a B. So come on, guys, you can beat me at this. You can find out what I did wrong. And to do that, you click on the pull down arrow and view, dang it, sorry. You want to view submissions. That's where I'm trying to click right there. Awesome. And so now it says you got a C. The first time you got a B, and the second time you got a C. So what you need to do is be able to double click that and see what was right and what was wrong. So they're saying that when we applied the filter in step 3, we didn't quite do that correct, or sort by the results. Let's see what else we missed. And that seems to be the big problem. So you guys need to write in and tell me how to do that filter query right. I know you can figure it out. And sort by Cynthia Ashley's name. You know, we never did view it in a table. We probably should have viewed it. All right, it's been great working with you tonight. And remember, you've got 3 uploads. Highest grade wins. All right, have a great time. Bye-bye.